Hey guys, it's Trina, and in today's video I will be doing my February reading wrap-up. So in the month of February I ended up reading 4 books, and they all varied a lot in genre, so without further ado, I'm just gonna get into it. The first book I read in February was Crooked Kingdoms by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Six of Crows, which I read in January, and the story follows a group of criminals that have been hired to take on an impossible heist. This is such a fast-paced novel. I absolutely love the sequel just like I loved the first one. The character dynamics were just written so well. I loved how the plot progressed and so much happened, but it didn't feel like it was dragging on or anything. Honestly, it's a big book, but it doesn't feel like it's big because I read it so fast, and I'm really glad I finally got to this fantasy duology because I've just heard so many good things about it and I really, really loved it. The next book I read in the month of February was Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aceman. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is an adult contemporary novel. It follows a 17-year-old boy who lives with his family in northern Italy, and every summer they host someone to come stay with them. And this year they host a grad student, and it's basically the love story between these two boys. A lot of you may have heard of the movie adaptation that came out. It's been nominated for quite a few Oscars. The book is written extremely poetically, and I thought the movie, which I also saw in the month of February, had a lot of artistic elements to it that I really appreciated. The next book I read in the month of February was Another Day by David Levithan. So this is a companion novel to David Levithan's book called Every Day. Every Day follows the story of a teenager that wakes up in a different body every day, and one day he ends up falling in love with this girl, and it's about their story and how this sort of magical realism aspect of switching bodies plays into their lives and how they're able to cope with that and deal with it. It's just such a beautiful story. It really shows a message of love crossing boundaries regardless of race, religion, gender, whatever the case may be. And Another Day basically follows Rhiannon, which is the name of the girl who the character in Every Day falls in love with. So the character in Every Day is referred to as A. All they really know is their personality and who they are, and that's what I really loved about this book, because it's really a story about how two people fall in love based on their inner qualities rather than their outside appearance. So Every Day has a movie that just recently came out. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to, and I'm really excited because it is such a great book. So the last book I read in the month of February was The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I've read Becky Albertalli's other book, Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda, and I absolutely love that. I'm so excited for the movie. This book follows the story of two twin sisters named Molly and Cassie, and this is at the time where gay marriage has been legalized in the States. So their mothers are planning to get married that year, and Molly and Cassie are in charge of sort of planning it and whatnot. So one day Molly meets this girl named Mina who she thinks would be a perfect match for her sister. So she kind of sets them up, and in the meantime, Mina and Cassie are trying to set Molly up with one of Mina's friends. So Molly's always been a very shy and reserved person. Though she's had feelings for many different people, she's never expressed them in any way. And then she meets someone at her workplace that she has a strong connection with. So basically this book follows her story and how she eventually is able to come out of her comfort zone. I thought this was such a fun story. I loved it so much. There was so much great representation in this book. And there's a little bit of a connection between this book and Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda. So I was mind blown when I figured out that connection. So reading both this book and Simon was a lot of fun because you kind of see where the characters' lives connect, and it was really, really cool. At the end of this book, there's also a preview to Becky Albertalli's new book coming out called Leah on the Offbeat, which follows one of Simon's best friends. So I'm really excited for that to come out, and I really loved this book. So those are all the books I read in the month of February. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any requests on types of videos you want to see from me. I'm open to any suggestions. Also, subscribe to my channel for weekly videos. I do a variety of videos including music, dance, spoken word, etc. So that's all for today, and I'll see you next time.